Welcome back to our video series on the G-Smart app from Gycom. In this video, we're going to cover configuring and pairing to an actual timer from your app. So on your devices screen, you'll see currently that there's no devices found. To find a device, all you have to do is click on the upper right-hand corner. You have a magnifying glass. And it'll do a search and provide a list of all the available devices that you can connect to. And as you can see, we have a G-Smart A2, which has the green letters available. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. This brings up the device information screen, which gives us information on the actual device we're connected to. So it's a G-Smart A2, gives you the manufacturer, the model number, the number of channels, which is 2, the number of programs with dates and without dates, and the functions that the timer has: on, off, impulse, cycle, random, and astro. This also gives us other information that we can use to program and set up programs. We have the view schedule, the view table, which we'll talk about shortly. But now we're going to talk about these manual operations on the bottom of the screen here. These manual operations allow you to physically control the switch from the app. So in the normal mode, you have it on auto. That means it's running off the programs that you have put into the timer, and that is how it would normally function. But let's say you have to go in and do work on it, or you have to create a new program. You would hit override, which would override the program that the timer is currently running. But if you wanted to turn the timer on permanently, you could hit select fix on. If you wanted to turn it off, you could hit fix off. Once you're done doing your programming or whatever maintenance you may have to do, you want to turn the timer back to auto. That way it'll run off the programs you have created. And this functionality is for both channels. So if you have a 2-channel, you have that ability to turn one on and one off. So remember that. Now, before we get to view schedule and view table, we're going to go through some settings that you need to look at, especially when we're using an Astro timer. So we're going to go back to the settings like we did before, but this will be the settings on the actual device. So we click in the right-hand corner, that little cog wheel, and it'll pull up our timer settings. These are the settings for the timer. Again, it gives you the name, the timer type, the backlighting, and the coordinates. Again, if you haven't done this before, hit your GPS location, and it'll pull up the location for where you're at, which in this case, it'll be the same. Again, time, 24 hours, summer, winter time changes, automatic for EU, Astro. This is important. If you're using the Astro function, you must turn this on the first time you use and connect to this switch. So we'll do that right now and turn that on. Again, time zone, UTC +1 for Berlin. First day of the week is Monday. And it gives you information on the firmware, what is installed, version 3.3.5, and what is available. And also gives you the option to update firmware. We'll cover that in a different video later. Also gives you an option to name channel 1 and channel 2 something different if you want to change the names. So that's the setup for the timer settings. So we go back to the screen we had before where we have our device details. And now we'll talk about view table and view schedule. This is where you can actually view information that you've created or that you've pulled from the timer. So we're going to look at how to pull information from your timer. So if you scroll down, and this little orange icon underneath the actual timer picture, if you press on that, this will allow you to pair your app with your device. So currently we're going to pull from timer because we want to see what is on the timer and what we get from that. What you can also do is you can push back to the timer. So if you pull something in, it's a program, and you make changes to that, once you're done making those changes, you just go back to push to timer. And your app will talk directly to your timer and send that information. So let's go look at what was on there. Now, if you go into view table, the view table will show you the programs that were on that actual switch, okay? Which we have no switching programs from that timer. Now, if you want to add a program, you can click in the upper right-hand corner, it's that plus sign, and it'll bring up name. You can give it a different name other than program 1, and you have the option of with date and without date. Now, we're not going to go into detail on this in this video. We'll come back to setting up a program in the next video. But we go back a screen. Again, it shows no switch program, so there's no programs on the actual timer. So we go back one more, and it gives you view schedule. Here in view schedule, you can go in and choose some options on how you want to see your chart display. You can view it either yearly or weekly, or by the individual channel, depending on what you're looking for. You can also select the date by year of the program you're looking for. And you can also, again, select channel 1 or channel 2. And then you would hit apply, and then you'd have a chart that would be generated showing you a lot of information. We'll cover that once we get to the part when we're starting to actually make a program. So click that back arrow up next to charts, and you go back to our main area, which is our device details. And that has covered this portion of this video on how to do configuring and pairing your app with an actual device. So we'll go back one more screen to your main area, and you'll see that we're still attached or still connected to that G Smart A2. But we'll have more in our next video soon. Thank you.